Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Mountain Harmony Gardening. I'm Kristen, and today we are going to be talking about the annoying fungus gnats in my house and how to get rid of them. I've had fungus gnats in our house all winter long, and they are super annoying. They fly in your face, they get in your food, they get in my mug of tea. I'm over it. And I know that some of my viewers, because they've asked me questions, are over it too. So first I'm going to tell you guys what fungus gnats are. So fungus gnats are small flying insects. They're probably about the size of a mosquito, maybe a little bit smaller, and they look very similar to a mosquito as well. And they are attracted to the moisture in your soil, in your potted plants. They're also attracted to the moisture in your drains. And I found out they are also attracted to the sweet scent in your trash can. So we're going to be going over all of that today and show you guys how to get rid of them, and hopefully for me to get rid of them too. So an adult fungus gnat can lay about 200 eggs. And you know what? I can see a fungus gnat flying around the camera. They're attracted to lights as well. And what they do is they feed off of the organic matter that is near the soil surface and lay their eggs there. So once they lay their eggs in your plant, it takes about 3 days for the larva to hatch. And then the larvae burrow down into your plants and they eat the fungus, they eat the organic matter, and they also eat the tiny roots in your plants. So it takes them about 2 weeks to emerge as adults, and then the adults live for a week longer. So the cycle of the fungus gnat from egg to adult can be anywhere between 3 and 4 weeks. And what you have to do is you have to eradicate them in that 3 to 4 weeks. You've got to cut off one of their life cycles so that they don't keep reproducing, which has been going on in my house way too much this winter. So now, next, I'm going to be telling you the first step that you will need to do to get rid of the dreaded fungus gnat. When I decided to do this video and get rid of the fungus gnats in the house, I had to let my plants dry out for 2 weeks. Cactus love it. My other plants, not so much. This one is doing okay, but my miniature peace lily, I had to water it yesterday because I was afraid it was going to die. But that's the first step that you need to do, is you need to let your plants dry out completely for at least 2 weeks. And when you start watering them again, you need to test the soil first. So just like outside, take your finger and stick it in. And I can stick it way down, like almost all the way down as far as my finger can go, and it's dry. My poor little plants. But that also means that the fungus gnats are not going to be attracted to this plant because this top soil, it's very dry. So before you water, check it and see if it's moist. If it's moist, do not water it. If it's dry, up to about your first knuckle, you want to check it till, then go ahead and water. The first thing that I did before I let my plants dry out is I got Zeo Traps. Here's a picture of the box. Well, actually, it is the box. Here's the box. They work really, really good at catching flying insects. And they have a blue light that they emit, so it attracts the bugs to the light and they get stuck on the sticky trap. And I'm hoping that you guys, Donnie's waving me closer. All right, there we go. These little tiny black dots on here are the fungus gnats. And you can see that we catch other flying insects like, you know, flies, moths, things like that too. Anything that flies is attracted to this. And we had this in there for probably a couple of weeks. And that gives you an idea of how many fungus gnats I have in my house. And this is my 3rd trap. I have 1 in the bathroom and I have 2 in the living room. And I just replaced the sticky part, which is easy to do. You just slip it in. And here's how many fungus gnats I caught in a few days. a little bit better. I think it slowed down a little bit. But these traps work great. One thing that said online when I was doing the research for all of this is that you probably want them in every room of the house. So I had 3 and I went and bought 3 more. So now I have some new ones. And how much were these a piece? They weren't too terribly expensive.
20 bucks.
20 bucks for the whole entire thing. It comes with the, the trap. And all you gotta do is peel sticky off, put it in the trap, and plug them in. So in some of my other videos, you've probably seen these plugged in. They emit kind of a blue light around, around the trap. Kind of makes some of my videos look a little bit funny, but they work great. So wherever you have plants and wherever you have fungus gnats, I would highly recommend getting a Zeo trap or some other sort of sticky trap. I am not sponsored by them, but if Zeo wants to sponsor me, I would be happy to sponsor their product because it works. Another thing you can do is you can make your own traps. And what you will need to make them is you will need water, vinegar, and some liquid dish soap. And you want equal parts of the water and the vinegar. So I put half a cup of vinegar, half a cup of water, a couple drops of dish soap, and you just pour it into any container. And then you set this near your plants or your drains, wherever you're having the largest problem with gnats, and just let it sit. They will fly on top, get stuck, and drown. They're not strong flyers either. And the whole time I have been doing this video, it seems like there are fungus gnats flying through. At the last video, one almost flew up my nose. So I am really looking forward to getting rid of them. Now that I've made my trap, I'm going to place it. This is probably one of my largest problem areas between the plants and the drains. So I'm just going to set it on the counter right next to the Zeo and see what we catch. The next step that I am going to have to take, because I have such an infestation of fungus gnats, is I am going to use organic neem oil. Now follow the directions on your bottle of neem oil to make your neem oil spray. But for me, it is half a tablespoon to a quart of water. You want to mix it up, shake it pretty well, and what you're going to do is you're going to spray the top of your soil with it. If you had other types of pests like spider mites, things like that, you would actually spray the leaves. Now I've sprayed this in really good, and the next step is to water it. After you've sprayed your plant with the neem oil, you want to water it. And you do not ever want your plants sitting in water in their saucers, because that will attract the fungus gnats too. So I'm setting my plant on my sink so that as I water it, it can drain out completely. Give it a good water. And let it drain. Once it is drained out fully, you want to spray your plant down with neem oil again. Donnie, can you hand me the neem oil behind you? Thank you. You want to spray your plant again. And you also want to spray your drainage hole once it's done draining. And then the next step will be vermiculite. After you've sprayed your plants with neem oil and watered them, the next step is vermiculite. And you want to find an organic brand if you can. And you need to put this all over the top of your plants. And the fungus gnats don't like this, or you could use sand too, and they can't get through it to get down to the moist soil to lay their eggs. So you probably want at least 1 inch to 2 inches on top. And I do this for my seedlings when I start my seedlings, because that also helps keep away the fungus gnats in case you have any in your house, and hopefully by then we won't. And this should be the good barrier Plus, it dries out really fast to keep the fungus gnats out of your house plants. You also want to get rid of any like dead leaves that are on the soil, anything like that. Any sort of debris that you have, you definitely want to get rid of it. And after you're done doing all this, make sure you wash your hands. I know neem oil is organic and so on and so forth, but I prefer to not eat that stuff. So make sure you wash your hands too. And now you can see that it actually looks really pretty too. And I also even sprayed down the saucer. I am really taking a lot of precautions to make sure that my plants are well covered because I am tired of the fungus gnats. And another tip, they're attracted to white lights. We got new filming lights and they are flying all over around it. So if you can find traps that have a white light, I think that'll work too. Because fungus gnats also live in your drains, you're going to need to clean your drains, and not just your sink. You're going to need to clean every drain in your house. Sinks in your bathroom, the tub, anywhere you have a drain, you're going to have to clean it because they will find a hiding spot down in your drains. So what you're going to need to clean it is you're going to need half a cup of salt, half a cup of baking soda, and a cup of vinegar. You want to do this at night before you go to bed to all of your drains, and you want to let it sit overnight. And then the next morning, you want to take boiling water, like your tea kettle, and you want to pour it down all of your drains, and this will clean them out and hopefully clean all the fungus gnats that are living down there. If the neem oil doesn't seem to be working as well as you would like, there is a way to target just the larvae and the eggs. And what you do is you mix 1 part hydrogen peroxide to 4 parts water. So if you had a cup of hydrogen peroxide, you would need 4 cups of water. That seems like a lot, so you probably want to scale it back a little bit. But if the neem oil doesn't work, try that recipe. Even though fungus gnats are not harmful to humans, they don't bite us or anything else, they can spread disease between your plants. And when you have enough fungus gnats, they can actually kill your plants. The leaves will start to yellow, they'll start to fall off, your plant's growth may completely stop, and they can completely kill your plants. These are my 2 plants that I've been trying to nurse back for a very long time, but it's to the point where I'm just going to give up on them. They are not going to recover. I even have like little tiny spiders living in here because they have so many fungus gnats. Very happy spiders in these plants. So this is the extent of what can happen to your plants if they get overrun by fungus gnats. Once you dump these out in the trash outside, don't dump these in the house because then you're going to have fungus gnats everywhere and eggs. You want to wash the pots out really well when you bring them back in. Soap, water, vinegar, everything you can think of to get these clean. And if they're not terracotta glazed pots like this, even set them outside so that they freeze. And another tip is if you are buying soil and it's cold outside where it's freezing, leave the soil outside for it to freeze. That will also help kill off any eggs that are in the potting soil that you're going to be using for your houseplants. I hope all of these tips help you with your fungus gnats, and I really hope they help me with my fungus gnats that I have as well. But you are going to need to do all of this to all of your houseplants, and I can see the fungus gnats still flying around. I'm going to be so glad when I don't have to do this anymore. So make sure that you spray them with the neem oil. Don't overwater them. Put down the vermiculite on top. Clean your drains. Get the Zeo Traps. I know it sounds like a lot, but I really don't want them killing off any more of my houseplants. So if you have any questions, put them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. It really does help out my channel. We're almost up to 150 subscribers. I am so excited. Our growth has been fantastic this last month. You guys are so amazing. Thank you all. Happy gardening!